Alrighty, welcome in play-by-play NRL picks and preview back with you once again. Origin on the way. NRL round 12 is heating up. Jordan Hughes with you alongside.
It's me, King! Geordie.
Hello, my guy.
My friend, I've missed you. Great to see you.
Likewise. How's your week been?
Been a big week for me, working, training, all the above. And how about you?
Good, mate. Good. We had a good weekend on the picks? Or?
Yeah, pretty good. Good first half for me, and then I think the back end.
Yeah, the back half
I
was
actually didn't watch most of the games. I was busy.
A bit
yeah.
stiff in the end, but we got it done. But what caught your eye, mate? What got you excited?
What caught my eye, the most impressive for me was Ezra Mam back in action. He was try assist, try, chase downs. He was on. There's two more I wanted to speak about. Coruscant, Api Coruscant. Two
Dude, it has a
steps.
feet on the trail.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
He whacked Latrell twice. Those are great tries too. And then the third one was Xavier Coates.
Oh, flying high.
That's not a specky. He's pretty much standing on some bloke's head.
Mate, freaking fly points. Is that what I mean?
Freaking
Unreal.
fly
Oh.
points. Here we go. And what was your most impressive,
Well,
my friend?
on the same try, you know what I'm going to say here. Mark Nawangani-Tawase.
Of course. We called that.
Yeah, we did.
And that was a freakish try too.
Mate, he's unbelievable.
Got a double.
And then on the same vein, Sharks. They continue the trend against the Storm. We spoke about last week that I backed the Sharkies.
You
and
love the Sharkies at home, at night, Mulatalo. That's your go-to.
Cash right there.
Oh, I love that. And Eero scored again for
Yep,
us.
I hope you followed along on those ones. That was a good game for all the boys. What was disappointing, mate?
Least impressive for me were the Broncos. So the Broncos are winning 12-0, whatever. And then St. George get one sent off and they score 2 tries against the Broncos.
Yeah,
You're kidding.
I'm the same. Broncos. Like, what's doing, man?
What is doing? That's more of an attitude thing, yeah. You don't get scored on twice by St. George.
I was annoyed too because on my best bets last week, the 4-leg multi I gave out, we got cash, and then the Broncos. That was the one that let us down.
Cash. Yeah, Broncos let me down too. I had a good 1-12. Arthur's,
Not good.
all the above.
Quickly, before we get into our NRL round 12, Origin teams have been announced. We'll have a big Origin show next week for you. But just quickly on the squads, any opinions? Thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely excited for the Blues. I look at that and it just goes off. Latrell Mitchell on one centre, Crichton on the other. I'm just so excited for that.
Robert Toya gets a crack in the centres for the Maroons.
He's been playing decent footy, but I just think it's because there's so many outs for the Maroons. They lost Murray Taulagi. I definitely do not like Valentine Holmes on the wing there.
You don't like that?
Not at all.
That's where he started his career, didn't he, back in the day?
I don't know, but he's one of the best left centres there is in the game right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And even the Hamaso. Hammer's been great in Origin left centre, but put him at fullback. There's more options for him.
Ponga, mate. He's got that.
Ping Ponga is not Pong and Pingin.
No, he's not pinging Ponga at all.
Pingin at all.
No. Anyway, we'll get into that next week. But yeah, interesting to name squads. The Blues are looking sharp, as you said. Let's get into it. NRL round 12 starts tonight. It is the Bulldogs and the Dolphins. Make sure we obviously note all these teams without their Origin stars this weekend. $1.40 the Dogs, $2.95 the Dolphins. The Lions 7.5. Regan.
Beauty. Well, the Dogs are first place. Absolutely correct. I think they're 9 wins with 1 loss.
Mate, flying.
That's phenomenal. And against your team, the Dolphins, they're in 14th place. They've pretty much got a full squad except for the Hamaso.
That's very accurate. The Dogs have won the last 6 versus teams in the bottom 4. I misread my thing here. Anyway, Farnsworth scored his last 5 tries and Zarko scored his last 4 against the Bulldogs.
You love a bit of an Azarko for the Dolphins.
I do.
Look, the Dogs have plenty of new faces on there. They're missing Kurt Mann, Max King, and Stephen Crichton, so they're missing their captain. The new captain, Viliami Kikau.
I like it. It should be like, this is the best test for the Dolphins to try and spoil the upset. There's 7 players or something not playing for the Dogs. Any chance? What do you think?
For me, look, I think it's a very tough game for the Dolphins. They still have to go down to the Doggies' home ground. The Doggies are still solid. They still have a full team. They're pretty tough.
And they're without the hammer. That's the big one.
Without the hammer. And the Dolphins do struggle away from home, especially down in Sydney.
Yep.
So I'm actually looking at the Bulldogs here. I just think they've got too much camaraderie to be beat by the Dolphins. And I'm looking at, it's going to be a close one, 1-12.
Yeah, I agree. I can be close, but I will go the Dogs to scrape home as well. Farnsworth for a try as well. And on that trend, maybe Azarko cash in also.
Oh, you like that.
I like that. Any try scorers?
Nah, not for me, because the Bulldogs are hard. They score in the middle, they score out wide. I just leave the try scorers out. If I was looking, there's 2 options for me. It's kick out or cherry out that left edge.
There we go. Okay, now is the local derby. The Eels, $2.65. The Manly Seagulls, $1.48. The Lions, 6.5. Both sides missing their main halves. Cherry Evans and Moses, both not there.
Exactly. Look, the Eels have been struggling there near the bottom of the ladder. And the Manly have been they've been getting better each week, but still
They
losing those games.
surprised us last week, didn't they, against the Cowboys? Like, we didn't...
Yeah, for sure. Manly, yeah, they actually did. Cowboys were pretty useless then, weren't they?
Disappointing.
But yeah, so the wins that Eels have got, it's because Mitchell Moses is playing. Him and Lomax are not playing, so I think they're going to struggle there. On the other end, we're only missing Cherry Evans, but you've got Tommy Turbo. He's getting in form. Lachlan Croker, he's a big inclusion for me. He's off the bench. So I just think the Manly are way too strong here.
The Eels have lost their last 7 on a 7-day turnaround. The away team has covered Manly's last 4 matches. Tommy Turbo scored his last 6 Friday night games, and Dylan Brown scored his last 4 night games as well.
Beauty.
I think Manly too good here. I think Manly do a job. I think they win. I think they win well, and Tommy Turbo scores.
Yeah, I gotcha. I think the Manly are too strong out wide too. They've got Cooler or Saab out there, and yeah, Tommy Turbo running the team. Minus 3.5 handicap for Manly.
Okay, there we go. Let's go now to the Panthers versus the Knights. $1.52, the Panthers, the Knights, $2.55, the Lions, 5.5. This game is out of Bathurst, Regan.
Oh, Bathurst, that's good.
But country.
Nice. Look, the Knights are in absolutely awful form.
Mate.
That's just terrible. And the Penrith haven't been in too good form either. They're trying to find something. There are so many outs for the Penrith Panthers. 7 players. Let's name some of them. No Yo, Cleary, Martin, Edwards, To'o.
Oh, my God.
That is like your whole spine. And the
Liam Martin as well?
Yeah, Liam Martin's gone.
Oh.
Who they're putting in instead is Dane Laurie, McLean, Blaze Taulungi, Schneider, Henry, and Ricky. I just think that's such a young squad. And even off their bench, they've got so many young, inexperienced players in the NRL.
Okay, and on the Knights, obviously, they're without Ponga. As you said, they've been dreadful this year. Been so hard to support. The Knights have failed to cover the last 6 as an underdog. Isaac Tago scored his last 4 or 5 home games. How do you see it?
Yeah, well, this ain't really a home game now, is it?
I was just thinking
It's a
that,
bit of Bathurst. Look, Sharp has moved to fullback, and I do like Cogger and Gamble in the halves there. Look, Penrith are expected to win at home, but I think with all of their exclusions, I do think Knights have a chance to nab a win here.
Okay.
They've got so much experience in the forward pack compared to the Panthers. I'm just and they've still got Dylan Lucas and other players I do like.
Yeah. So you're going Knights to win.
Panthers should win, but I'm backing the Knights here, 1-12.
I like it. I'll go the other way. I'll go Panthers to win 1-12. I think they have enough talent there to come in to do a job. And every time I tip the Knights, they just are dreadful. So I'm done doing it.
Yeah, it's obviously hard to back the Knights, especially after their form, but
this is their best chance. You're right.
This is their best chance.
Okay, let's go now. The Roosters and the Sharkies. $3.35. The Roosters, $1.33. The Sharks, the Lions, 9.5. This game being played at Central Coast Stadium. Sydney have won their last 5 out at Central Coast. The underdog has covered the last 5 between these two sides. And Iro has scored in his last 7 games. 7 on the trot, mate. That's crazy stuff.
And we've been on each one of those too.
Yeah.
Ira and Mulatalo are causing havoc at that left edge. Look at the Roosters. They've been finding form of late. They've won 4 games and lost 6 games. They're sitting on 11th place, but their last 5 games have been actually quite good. On the other end, the Sharks, they're in 5th place, and they've had 7 wins and 4 losses.
Yes, they have. Another stat for you. Dan Tupou scored in his last 5 home games versus the Sharkies. I actually think the Roosters can win this. I think they were unlucky last week to not get it done against the Doggies. So I'll go Roosters to win here. Roosters plus that 9.5. Tupou to score. And maybe Iro makes it 5 in a row, mate. I mean, it's 8 in a row, sorry.
I like it. Well, I'm leading the other way because the Sharks have a full squad, and I don't think there's anyone for the Origin for them, so they're looking real good. Where on the other end, the Roosters are missing a whole lot of forwards. They've got a whole bunch of bench forwards, and then an inexperienced bench on the bench as well. I'm looking at Aiden Whenua to run amok there. I think Aiden Whenua scores against these young Roosters forwards, teach them a lesson. But yeah, I'm going with the Sharks here all the way.
Okay, there we go. We're split so far. Let's go to our final game. Just a short round this weekend. The Warriors $1.77. The Raiders $2.05. That line is 1.5 over in New Zealand, Regan.
Absolutely excited for this. 2nd place versus 3rd place. The Wires on 8 wins and 2 losses.
Mate, they've won the last 8 of 9. Crazy.
There you go. That's crazy. And the Raiders are 8 wins and 3 losses. So they're looking superb as well. And a tough one for the Raiders going to beat the Wires over there.
New Zealand have covered the last 5 home games. They've been doing an absolute job in front of their fans. Tuivasa Sheck has scored his last 4 games versus the Raiders as well. He's back on the wing. I like him for a big performance too.
Beauty. I think the only one missing for the Warriors is Mitch Barnett in front pack. But they've just been prevailing and winning comfortably in each one of their matches. They win 1-12 and they've been winning pretty comfortably. On the other end, the Raiders, they've been firing. They've been down by 20, down by 10, and they come back to win. So they're absolutely resilient. What I've got here is I think the Wars are going to lead, and it's going to come back to those last 10 minutes. I think it comes down to the last 10 minutes of the match where the Raiders can easily steal this off the Warriors. But in saying that, I hope I'm wrong, and I'll be leading with the Wars 1-12.
Yeah, of course, the Raiders are without Hudson Young, who's been one of their best this season. I got the Warriors as well. I reckon they do enough to win at home. They cover that number, and Tuivasa-Sheck scores for me as well.
Oh, beauty. We're on the Wars.
There we go. Just short and sharp this weekend. But Regan, what is your best bets of the week?
Here we go. This is my King's best bet. This is an $18 odds.
Ooh.
It's 4 legs.
Juice.
4 legs, $18. This is worth it.
Tell the people.
For me, Manly will get the win. Sharks will get the win against the Roosters, and Aiden Fanua will score, and the Bulldogs to win at home 1-12. That's a 4-legger, $18. That's something
That's
you want
good.
to jump on.
I think it's one of your best. I like that.
I love it.
There we go. For me, my best bet of the week is another 4-legger for you. I go Manly minus the 6.5. The Roosters plus the 9.5. Do enough to keep it close against the Sharks. Tupou scores for the Roosters, and Tuivasa-Sheck scores for the Warriors.
Beauty on those try scorers.
Yeah,
What are
so-
the odds?
Don't know. I need to put that together.
Yeah,
but
it's nice.
That'd be nice. That'd be 10 plus. Easy for the people. So a couple of 4-leggers for you. Hopefully we can find some juice. There we go. Short and sharp, running through it. Plenty of picks. Origin next week with our previews for the women's and the men's.
Oh, excited for the women's and the men's.
Also on that, they finally listened to us. Lauren Brown at 7. Do you see that?
No.
Yeah. Brigginshaw at 13.
Wow,
Good.
exciting.
Yeah, we've been saying that for years.
That's
so.
not good for me, though. I was going to back the Blues.
Yeah, I know. But I
we
reckon it's
go.
much better for the Maroons. All right, and in the meantime, enjoy your NRL round 12. Origin next week. Mate, throw us out.
This is us. That's Geordie Hughes. I'm the King. We're Media Vintage. Catch ya.
Bye.